Yes, let the negativity rise. What's up, guys? How's it going, Negative Zero?
Good. Was good.
Man, I'm kind of stoked about these digits. I'm just really excited about the negatives in general. I'm having a fun time with it. The negative images are rad. I love your PFP negative 365. That is gangster.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm curious, guys. Did you guys send 0.01 to the minus ENS Maxis contract? Did you? I haven't done that. I did that earlier, but I don't know what to expect. Will I have my PFP that's just connected with the ENS record minted?
Yeah, I haven't done it. I know some people who have, and it sounds like that's how it works. Like once you send it, you get the PFP.
Oh, I can't wait to go and check now. That is so fun.
Yeah.
He's so clever, man. He's literally innovated a few things that are like really next level, like really sincere.
Yeah. What's his? I'm trying to figure out what's his Twitter name, but he does know what the fuck he's doing when it comes to coding and contracts and all that.
Yeah, it's Dememe Trees. It's like DMT_ETH, I think is his Twitter handle. So he's great, and I've known him for a little
Yeah.
while from the Doogies and some of the other early 10K communities. But yeah, let's see if we can get our negatives in here, get our homies in here. I'm really excited about like the conversation about negatives in general, and specifically, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the negative 999s, like they're just going off. So I think that are on the
Yeah.
keycaps, not only just the negative regulars, but the negative keycaps are starting. I think they're like 7% minted, and I was immediately sort of like bearish on the keycaps. What up, Coldie? How's it going, man? Welcome to join us, man. It's great to see you here. I was chatting with Coldie earlier a little bit about ETH emojis and some of the stuff that, like we've been into with the ETH emojis, man. They're so silly in a way. But I mean, negative zero, maybe you could talk about like when I first like started talking about the two EC combos and all that. Where has it taken you since then? And maybe Coldie, if you want to jump in and chat about it too, it'd be great to hear from everyone.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I'll never forget that night you were dropping all that alpha, brother. I had no idea that you could register like certain domains with different characters and stuff like that. So like all that was new to me, and it just like sparked something for me. Like I started looking at two emoji combinations, registered a bunch, and then I saw this negative digit hype, and I was like, yo, I can have a true single digit minted because of the two character emoji. So I went and looked at the negative zero. It was green. Negative one. It was green.
Damn.
Everything through negative nine, and I couldn't help myself, bro. The fucking the left side of my brain said "fuck you" to the right side, and just took over, and I minted them all.
That's the best. That's the best shit ever, dude. Coldie, what's your thoughts, man? Welcome.
What's up, you guys? How's it going?
Hey, man,
Yeah.
we love having you in here hanging with us. I think you
Bro,
got
I was trying to find this wallet. I just pinned it. I was trying to find this wallet for legit 2 hours to figure out who it was. Like, I cannot figure it out at all.
What was it? My
well.
wallet?
What are you looking for?
Uh,
365? Yeah.
No, there was a person earlier who bought like two for like a lot of bread, and that was their wallet. And I was trying to figure out who it was
Two
because like
negatives or just three digits or emojis or what were they?
uh they were two negative two digits, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's this interesting conversation sort of happening about emoji ENS and digit ENS and specifically negative digit ENS. And so, yeah, if you guys don't know Coldie, I'll just introduce him just to kind of get a sense of who he is and what he's about. Like, you guys really should be aware of him. He's just done some fantastic art, in the crypto scene. Like I have hold his DIs and some other, work that he does. So it's really a privilege that he decided to jump in and join us. And it's kind of partially because we were rapping about ETH emojis and stuff earlier. You can see he's rocking in his description the cold face artist.eth. That was just kind of like a gift because Coldie was taken, so I was like, well, we could get you cold face artist guy.eth and sent that over as a kind of, it's probably not the one you'll land on ultimately, but I think Coldie is like the kind who is such a supreme artist that it would be amazing to have you rock the just straight artist.eth. So I was messaging out Bromhill who holds that domain and trying to negotiate if we can work something out for you with that,
that's
because you are the artist, man. You're the
okay.
artist.eth.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's so it's funny. This all started because I wanted to put a picture on my ETH like background, like for the token. I saw people doing that, so you helped me out with that, and then you just dropped some heavy alpha on me, and kind of like took my day over. Like it's kind of funny. Like so, I got up this morning at 4 in the morning, so I could be the first minter on super rare proof of stake tokens, and I got it. So I woke up at 4 o'clock, fucking minted this shit, and I've been a zombie all day. But in the process of that, I got this like alpha about ENS shit, and I like what better way to be a zombie than to like start aping on fucking ethmojis? I didn't even know what they were yesterday.
Actually, speaking of zombies, one of the coolest ones, some of the coolest ones are the singles, the true like just single by itself like that. And there's only probably a few hundred of them that are, you know, that are like that. One of them is zombie. And so because that's the case, anything that you pair with them, they register really well and fairly cheaply. It's like one of the first, I got a call coming in. One of the first two, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Nice. One of the first two emojis that I was registering, the first two emoji combos was like gun, squirt gun, zombie.eth, and then hatchet, like axe zombie.eth, because I was like, oh, these are cool, like a zombie, with a gun or a zombie with an axe. And I started thinking about them that way because they're really quite rad. But then like there's like the cat, the cat is pretty good. The black cat it registers on his own. So you can put the black cat next to anything, like a ball of yarn or a glass of milk or whatever. And it just, you start thinking about things like which two emojis go together well. But I'm really, really fascinated by some of the I hearts as well. Today I registered I heart shopping, like I heart emoji shopping. And I'm starting to see like, more opportunity here, especially with Gary Vee coming out today or whenever that video was from, when he was saying like, what emojis in the URL? Like I would be so into that. I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's how I felt about it. So I think that's where we're at. And next, Coldie, after you've got your avatar updated with ENS and everything, and some of your other, records filled out in there, you could start hosting your content there, and that would be so cool. You could throw your On Cyber link in the content field, and then it'll forward there. So when people go to Coldie3D.eth or whatever, just redirect to your On Cyber, and there's just so much utility with it. Subdomains, you can give access to your patrons. You can issue your patrons a subdomain with a purchase or something, so they get like I saw you grab DIs, so you can give all your DIs, holders like me. You could give us like the number of our DIs, make a claim page where I can get like the number of it or some you claim it, or just like n0vax.eth or whatever. And then that subdomain maybe gives you access or some utility or something, gets you into your On Cyber Metaverse space, something like that.
Yeah, that's super cool. I didn't know that you could resolve like websites into these. That's the case. Like it'll redirect to
it's
website.
very interesting how it works, and you can host content right on IPFS. It's a whole thing that's starting to emerge with the D-Web on this. I'm kind of like a super mod on some of the Discord groups with the the early D-Web developers who are building all some of the tools for this, the search engines, eSteroids and Neiman and Wolfram, and a couple other homies who are really the core people building out a lot of that stuff at this exact moment. Are just at an arm's length. So we're it's really early, on that, but it's not so early, it's really starting to explode. So it's happening so fast now. But yes, that is the case. And then with the emoji ones, that's the coolest part is generally, so like in your browser right now, like earlier today, I went to Board ENS Yacht Club. It's my friend's project, who's a really influential guy in the ENS community. So it's trusted. It's a Board ENS Yacht Club.eth. And when you try to access that, like in your browser, you just have to put in the additional suffix .eth.limo. It used to be .eth.link. Virgil Griffiths, he was a contemporary of Aaron Swartz, and you probably know about this stuff based on the content of some of your work, Coldie. I would assume you know about some of these characters and players, but Virgil Griffiths he's in jail now for helping with some North Korea crypto stuff or something to that effect. And so anyway, we believe that he may be being oppressed unjustly, but he was the owner of eth.link, and eth.link was suffixed onto these. It was built up in such a way that it would help resolve these. That was unable to be re-registered while he was in jail, and so there's a lawsuit actually between from ENS and some others trying to halt the sale of that Web2 domain eth.link. But in the meantime, the community has erected eth.limo, and eth.limo is like the new portal. So anytime you're like on Google Chrome or any conventional browser, and you're trying to access, a website, ENS website, you would type in like the ENS name and then .eth.limo. And eventually, after all this stuff, the adoption happens, even the .eth will be gone. It'll be super domains. It'll just be, you just go type in the browser, Coldie 3D, enter. No .com, no nothing. It'll just be super domains, ultimately, is what we're kind of going for. But that's that.
Yeah, no, I've just been going through and having fun with getting some, a bunch of two emoji domains, and just having fun, like you said, looking at combinations and, just seeing like what's available. So yeah, I appreciate the alpha, and I'd love to learn from you guys, because you guys are deep in this shit, and I'm just I'm an artist and a collector degenerate, so I just love see what's going on. So I appreciate you having me in.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So let's chat a little bit. We'll drop some alpha on Coldie while he's hanging with us. I just think it's such a cool thing that you're here, and knowing you a little bit better, knowing that, because I know you're not always out there in the spotlight a bunch, and you do a lot. So it's just really nice to be able to chat with you. I kind of seeing the degen side of you is nice too. Nice to know that you're in it with us on that level. And I think it's kind of messed up. Somebody's got Coldie.eth, and so I hope that our community can help to be an ambassador for Coldie, to help kind of contact the person who's holding it and let them know that Coldie is willing to deal with them, and trade some art or something, but, just be cool to kind of make that happen, so he can just be Coldie.eth, because there's no other Coldie, just the one. And making him be OX Coldie just isn't right. You can't be a derivative of yourself. Is not right. So with that said, I think we have a lot of alpha, and it's in a lot of different directions, really, because like we could talk about one thing or another. I like to keep it real general, because I see it as all being kind of connected, and so Negative Zero is talking about the two emoji combo alpha, which is really derivative of the single emoji combo alpha, just the fact that you could register surfer.eth. Yes, you can, and it's been done. And I will be the happy owner of surfer.eth. I just have a trade, OTC trade for surfer.eth that's we're working out at this moment. But yeah, we have an arrangement and everything. So, and think of how few there are. I live by the beach in California. I have a disability that makes it so I can't surf anymore. But I was like, man, I just love the idea of being like the Metaverse surfer, like surfer.eth. Like, that is so cool to me, and it's meaningful to me, And so anyway, people have, an understanding now about the scarcity of digits, which is really, Matt Higgins, one of the sharks for Shark Tank, just picked up 917 for 36 Ethereum. And so people are seeing that, there's scarcity in the digits, and they have that value. The Web 2 digit domains are really expensive as well, 25,000 for the appraisal tool on a few of them, just kind of in that range on the GoDaddy appraisal tool. So anyway, it's just cool to see that when you start seeing there's appeal in different things. There's scarcity appeal and there's utility appeal, and the emojis, the ETH emojis, don't have the most immediate appeal with the utility, because they're a little broken in different wallets and things. So that's, and from platform to platform, it's they don't resolve the same and all that. And that's the one thing that really prevented me from going headlong into emojis, or earlier than I did. And I heard this space a couple months ago by Bromhill and Triple Coldface, and I was like, man, that did it for me. That made me see the emojis were really interesting as as an ENS asset, because they were like, dude, they put the emojis in the context of being part of Unicode, and then they explained what Unicode, what the Unicode foundation is, and what their objective is, and the fact that emojis are like the modern hieroglyphics. They are the most universal symbol. They transcend language, So that's what's dope about them, a doctor or a surfer. You don't have to read any language, to understand that. You could be totally nonverbal and have an understanding of that. So the pictorial aspect of the emojis is really interesting. So you combine that, with the ubiquity of ENS and how we anticipate the Swiss Army knife of the digital infrastructure of ENS to actually serve as kind of the base for the social layer for identity on this Web3 or Web 69 or whatever it is, and in blockchain tech in here. So that's what it's all about, guys. And a little bit of this and a little bit of that never hurt. I think kind of spread your bets. I sold a bunch of. I want to talk about the merge a little bit with you guys now, but I just want to let you know that I bought the domain EthereumMerge.eth. What do you think? I sold two 5 digits and picked up for 0.1. Can you believe that? I mean, I don't know if I just have a skewed sense of things. What do you think, Negative Zero? Am I crazy? Like, it seems like the best dang deal of a lifetime. I bought Ethereum merge clean, just Ethereum merge.eth for 0.1, like 150 USD. Like, what? In the midst of the merge, like while it was going down, like, I don't know. I just don't understand why nobody was buying that. It was crazy. It's not a derivative. It's not broken. It's just, look for it. I grabbed it. It's real. I'm pretty sure, unless I misspelled it, because I was tired too. But I've checked it a couple times, and I'm pretty sure I'm sitting on Ethereum merge.eth, and I feel good about it. Negative 365, you want to jump in? Tell us about any of your acquisitions or any of your alpha. You guys got any alpha you want to share with the group? It's a small group, so you don't have to shy away from sharing your pearls.
No, I just been minting a lot of negative stuff with words behind the dash, and I'm trying to look into. I need to do a lot of reading and stuff on what else is gonna be normalized, but I have heard some stuff about the emojis for sure.
Can I tell you guys about the on cyber and metaverse experiences that I'm having? I just think that there's something here that we all need to really pay attention to immediately. And I know it sounds weird to say that. It's like, everybody stop what you're doing and listen immediately.
What's up?
I just they look good, the ETH domains as your, because your username floats over your head, your .eth floats over your head on your avatar when you're jumping around on cyber. So if you're like artist.eth and you're jumping around on cyber, it's like, oh, it's such a flex. If you're like surfer.eth, or if you're something cool like the James Bond emoji pairs that I have, like squirt gun groom, or even firefighter with a fire extinguisher. You know what I mean? Like that. Those are the kind of things that it's like they're all available right now. That's the thing. It's so alpha. Like they're all available. You could come in with like a couple ETH and clean up, the skin tone ones real easy, because any skin tone hero, the yellow ones are more valuable. So let's be clear about this. Is a little bit of alpha, Coldie, if you're still with us, that and everyone else. This is big alpha actually, and it's not really alpha in the sense of like this is what you should do. It's just like here's something to consider, which is that our skin tones. That's what I was big like. Come on, I was gonna know. They're so ambiguous. It's like unless it's the lightest skin tone or the darkest skin tone, the three in the middle are sort of like what? And yeah, they are. But as you look at them more and study them and you get more familiar with the emojis, you're like, actually, the first one's a blonde, and then the second one is, and there's just those other two. There's a little confusion, but it's not so bad. And so, but the thing is, the skin tone actually adds an additional Z-widge. It adds an additional code point. So that's why it's interesting. So like in most cases, you'll have like basically 4 code points off of a skin tone hero, off of a skin tone character. So if you have like medium skin tone firefighter, like that might count for 4 code points. And you put it adjacent to fire extinguisher, which is not a Z-Widge emoji, just counts as 1 code point. Boom, you're at 5. That's the least expensive registration cost on ENS, $5 a year. You can register every single skin tone skin tone of fireman adjacent to fire extinguisher, or every different skin tone of fireman adjacent to fire, or every different, so on and so forth, for like the cost of nothing. So that's just something. And I believe strongly, especially seeing these applied in their native environments, like where they will be in these on cyber galleries and things. And I believe that, the scarcity will be a factor, yes, but I think that the true emoji narrative on the like triple squirt gun, for example, there's a narrative about pure triples. Like if you go on ENS Vision and sort by category, you can click on categories and type in ETHMO, like ETHM, just to sort it by ETHMoji clubs, and you'll see that there's like single, double, triple. It's like, why? What the heck? Well, the reason why that exists is because there's only certain emojis that consist of 3 code points to satiate the minimum requirement, on ENS of three code points. So, and then there's some single emojis which which will they have 2. For example, they have 2. They count as 2 code points. So those are the true doubles. So I can't think of one offhand, but let's say that one is the squirrel emoji or something. So it would be like double squirrel is the shortest way that you could represent squirrel, on ENS or something. That's not true of squirrel. I think squirrel is just 1 code point. but by the way, but and likewise, and if there is an emoji, it's emoji or an emoji that just counts purely as 1 code point, like alien, or like most of them. I mean, generally all of them that aren't heroes or skin tones, or a couple of the flags, are going to just count as 1 code point. And in that case, in order to register any of those as ENS domains, they're called a true triple, because it would be like squirkin, squirkin, squirkin. That's the shortest way that you can just do, express purely squirkin with ENS. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Like I get that. But to me, triple squirt gun isn't desirable. And when I saw it, like I did desire it for a time. Actually, I was like, oh, that's so cool, because my friend actually got it, Flossin. And I was like, triple squirt gun, dang, that's pretty dank. I like that. But the more I looked at it, I was like, I don't know. This is when I ended up getting the James Bond, because I was like, I mean, it's so much cooler to have, squirt gun and a character, squirt gun and a zombie, squirt gun and a vampire, squirt gun and an astronaut, than triple squirt gun. Like, it seems like a missed opportunity. So that's where that came from. I was like, there are 2 emoji combos which are possible with the squirt gun, which are more desirable than the triple, the triple squirt gun. I understand the narrative. I appreciate the narrative. I think it's true that they have value for that. But for me personally, like, what do I want to own and pay registration fees for? Well, gosh, I'll tell you what, triple squirt gun costs $600 a year to register. It's 3 single code point emojis. Triple alien costs $600 a year to register. It's 3 single code point emojis. But pirate flag alien only costs like $100 a year to register, and it's shorter, and it's way cooler than triple alien, in my opinion. And my opinion. So I registered that, and I registered pirate flag alien and alien pirate flag, both. And then I registered pride flag alien and alien pride flag, because those are dope. And that's just how I see it, and then I registered a bunch of alien adjacent to various faces which count. There's some Z-Witch faces that people aren't really aware of. Face in Clouds, Dizzy Face, and gosh, there's one other that counts as a multiple. And so I registered those with guns, and I registered those, with aliens, because that's the thing. If you look at the CryptoPunks traits and everything, and it carries on to a lot of other stuff. Aliens, zombies, apes, right? That's the stuff, isn't it? That's the kind of mimetic crypto stuff. Those are the things, right? So why wouldn't they have value in an emoji context, in the ETH emoji context? Of course they would. Of course they would. Aliens, and then you think of the scarcity. There's only like 5 different ways to register an alien in a 2EC. You see what I'm saying? Alien, pirate flag, alien, pride flag, alien, pride flag, alien, trans flag, alien, and that's all for the flags. Maybe American flag too, but it's expensive because it's only 2, not 3, and that's all for your flags. And then you have, and so nothing else is possible with adjacent to alien, just alien alone. And then you get into any other Z-Widge, any other Z-Widge. So just look up a list of emojis which contain a 0 width joiner. That's the best thing. Just Google it. Which emojis contain, or go to the Emojipedia Twitter page, and there's some stuff there. And there's this is the dopest alpha of all. Homie of mine, Luke Wrightmain, who I'm getting the single surfer deal with, set up the to go direct to contract to pre-register the unreleased Unicode points for the new emojis that haven't been released yet. I was like, oh man, that's so epic. He registered the Unicode points prior to them being released. Like they released which the Unicode points were going to be, but they didn't. The emojis haven't been adopted yet and normalized anywhere. But he went like direct to contract and registered those. That's the biggest, juiciest alpha.
I don't even know how. That's wild.
Can you believe that, dude? Like, yeah, we thought of it. Digivitar and I thought of it, and I was telling him we should do this, but we didn't really know how. And we didn't have the capital because it's actually expensive with those because they're singles. You know, they count as you're gonna have to pay. So anyway, what else are you guys up to with your degening and whatever you're into? How'd you feel about the merge? Like both in terms of like, were you anxious about it or did you just kind of like snooze it? Or like how did what's your perception of the merge?
I didn't do much. I was just chilling, just in one of the Twitter spaces, and I was just up, just looking at everything, and then it just happened. And nothing changed, so I was just like, oh, that's cool.
Epic. Yeah, that's kind of we were on a live space with a bunch of people. It was really fun. What about you, Negative Zero?
Yeah, it was a lot smoother than I expected. I was like, that's it. But I mean, it's a good thing, right?
Oh, the merge. Generally speaking, is it a good thing?
Nah, just the fact that it was all smooth.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, certainly, I think my heart's kind of with the miners because I started in this game as a miner in 2017. So I was just thinking about that, like what would you do if you're sitting on a bunch of gear and maybe you ROI'd, maybe you didn't. It's like, what are you going to mine now? And everything's going to have sell pressure so hard on it because, like, the way I see it is almost anything where there's not a ton of liquidity and like, transaction happening and marketplace happening. It's just like mining for the sake of mining. It's just like, well, let's turn on the miners so that we can like, liquidate what we mine. So I feel that there's just going to be a lot of very ugly looking graphs that are just downtrending graphs for all the POW, any of the proof of work for the sake of proof of work tokens that don't have like a large, robust like NFT economy or token economy or some other type of utility that's keeping people there and keeping people desiring to have their assets there. Otherwise, it's just like, let's burn this field over here, and it's just, then eventually everyone's like, we can't live here. Everything's charred. So I'm afraid that that's kind of the potential future for some of the, for some of the projects that have actually, they kind of survived on the side and because people were thinking maybe one day this will happen, but now I fear that this will happen to actually hurt them worse. Like Ravencoin, for example, that's my big concern is like, will any of the remaining opportunity in Ravencoin actually be kind of stripped out of it by the fact that people just point their rigs at it and then sell the tokens and thank you very much. And just that on repeat, how can you hold a token price when the only thing that's happening is selling? Who's buying? Zero. Who's buying? Zero. There's never buy orders. So I think we need to think about that. The miners are, it's not like we have like some like huge like ethical obligation to like consider them, but it's like I think that it's healthy, as a culture for us to be like, what could they do? What should they do? Like what they've got all this gear. It's wasteful, right? To just like have it dumped or whatever. What should we actually do with the gear? So I'm into like proof of capacity mining though for the layman out there, who's like the average guy, stuff that's low energy. You could get the gear for cheap and it's not so hot and damn noisy and requiring AC to run as well. Because that's the crux of this is with the mining is that if you're anywhere outside of like the Antarctica, in the summertime, you have to run AC in addition, and that's where you feel the pain. If you're in anywhere where electricity costs anything. Well, I'm in California, but I think I was paying 45 cents a kilowatt hour when I was in my overages. I was watching videos of Voss Coin and homies going like, "Oh, I'm out here in Virginia, and we just got got a coal plant next door, so we pay like 1 cent per kilowatt hour." I was just like, "Oh well, no wonder you're so profitable." Anyway, thank you everyone who's in here. If anyone wants to jump up and take the mic, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. It'd be great to hear new perspectives. MakeaNFT is in the house. I got a great chance to meet MakeaNFT last night, actually. This would be interesting to share. So I was talking a little bit earlier about like 3D on cyber spaces, and specifically how fun it is to see your like cool looking Ethmoji domain on top of your avatar in on cyber. And that's what I was going to say earlier when I was like, everyone listened immediately. This Friday is going to be the first time I think that we do the ENS Friday night happy hour in on Cyber, in the new bar that I bought. I bought a virtual bar. It's the Atari bar, and it's the domain for it is oncyber.io/metabar, METABAR. So you can join us, in the Metabar. We're going to be doing the Twitter space probably just because the audio is like unclear, like it doesn't work that great or whatever. Or it actually does work great, but it would require everyone to be at a desktop probably because I don't think the audio is really good on mobile. So we'll probably just do like the audio and like we would normally do on Twitter Spaces, but this time for the first time we'll be able to actually jump around inside of the On Cyber bar together. So we kind of have that dynamic, which is fun. And so MakeaNFT had actually built this project that's like really rad. Has the way he described it had like really immersive VR type of capability. So it'd be awesome to hear about that if you want to share about that at all. But also we were speaking with Toko, and Toko was the guy who I was saying, Coldie, that I wanted to hook you up with to strategize, a really custom made 3-dimensional space to display your art, because she is really, really gifted, Metaverse space creator, and she is just, itching to go on Cyber. I was explaining to her the opportunity with the marketplace there, because there's only so many spaces and everyone is going to on Cyber so rapidly. So we're just buying up all the land and the spaces, and it's such a great opportunity for creators to build them and stitch them together. It's so easy, like Legos, to just go, oh, through this door, I want to connect to this thing. I now have the most amazing like network of these like many different on cybers together, where I can go from the bar over to the game room, from the game room to the bug out den, from the bomb shelter bug out den down to the secret cave, with the bat cave and everything. Then I can go up to my historical NFT museum, where I'm hanging, Coldie's DIs on the wall up in the upper loft, and all my old OG crypto bots and pixel map and all that kind of stuff. So I just feel like a lot of my assets, once you start accumulating a ton of assets, they're kind of like, especially with these ENS, they're just like there, in the wallet, right? But now you can curate them and put them up, and what I'm finding is there's an incredible phenomena between this sort of like information loop between the space itself and the assets that you desire to have in the space. Now there's this big hand, this 3-dimensional hand with his palm up in the middle of my cave space, in the middle of this spiral, like descending spiral walkway around it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need the coolest 3-dimensional. I need to import the coolest 3-dimensional NFT asset. So it could be sitting like right in the hand, the palm of that hand. And I didn't really desire a 3-dimensional asset in my spaces before that. I have a few, but I hadn't thought about it much. And then also there are some screens and menus in the bar. There's a menu. And now it would be so cool to have like an SVG asset that scales really nicely, for the menu, and do something custom on the menu, like the drinks, or whatever, just kind of make them custom to our community. The official ETH Nerds always bartending, so call it like the official ETH Nerd special. You know what I mean? Things like that. Make it custom, make it really cool. There's TVs playing in the game room. There's like broken looking monitors in different places in the bug out bomb shelter room. And they all have kind of a unique aspect ratio or whatever, in which, you have the opportunity to try to create an asset that meets that need. And so that's the fun thing, is that I'm kind of finding myself saying, I want to build this asset just this way for this, particular use case. And that's, to me, going to create newer, better things. Looks like we lost Coldie. What's up, MakeaNFT? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I don't know even where we left off, started, or stopped, but first of all, thank you so much for everything for the last few days. The knowledge drop is unbelievable. Even to touch on, the multiverse, and congrats on getting your bar. Please, as I'm terrible, I'm still getting my handle on Twitter Spaces. Regardless, if you could pin where that is, I can't wait to check it out. I have virtual land on the AltSpace platform, but truly with the at NFT Oasis, like world builders, they like did Burning Man, and they do events, streaming events. Shout out Sir Drops Bear, who gave me a wearable for an incredible conversation we actually just had on this subject. You know what we were talking about just a second ago was the fact that like Sir Dropsy Bear is on Decentraland and I'm on Altspace, and how much we are extended the multiverse and how to grow the wearable space, which our space is a VR immersive space. So we have this, and again, and I said this, I have two partners in Making NFT, but just to say it, I'm at jgriff120 as an artist. Anyway, we have this space. You could go in the computer or you could go on there. You get a desktop client and you're in. And the experience is ridiculously incredible. We've got, fireworks, and we can use a graffiti wall. And if you're in VR, you can fly. And I get to see my work like I used to before print fell off a map. Huge, and it's really an incredibly immersive experience where you'll be in Decentraland and I'll be with 130 people listening to a DJ battle and grabbing a Pope. Shout out Meta Trekkers. We are now two holders of them because of the way they're building their community and people. And what we keep trying to do right now is get those people together and find ways to like write scripts and polygon counts where we could make the wearables and things that you get DAP from. Like I bought the DJ who was spinning, I bought his thing, and then he sent me something because I did something nice. But it's like such a great way to share with your things. And Sir Jobsy Bear, I was shout out again, but he gave me one of his wearables during a great space. And it's such a way to show pride and energy if we could do it in all these metaverses and cross it where we have something special in ours, but we're writing scripts just like you would process videos for YouTube and high res to get together, figure out where the GLBs and the polygon counts can be slapped up and do it all together. So, and again, shout out, keeping it truly decentralized from one point on where the people who make it are getting streamed through and the other streams of revenue get connected to that chain. Lastly, just because I'm rambling and I apologize, but I would love to know, because I'm going to get my domain and I'm going to follow that rabbit hole. If you have any suggestions, if it's like too long or if it's better or anything you might touch on. And then as far as energy and mining in that subject, I cannot wait to hear more from you and talk to you about some very interesting concepts being in Colorado between land and sun and stuff. So I would love to hear more on those theories. Thanks.
Right on, man. It's so cool having you here, Make an NFT. It was really interesting to have, your perspective and to hear about what you've done. Make an NFT is like got some mad skills and built some stuff that's, beyond my understanding, has had it made, and has a lot of knowledge and experience on this subject. So we were with Justin Fredericks the other night doing the merge party, hanging with him and Leonidas, and Blau was in there. A bunch of people in the space were in there talking about some of these topics, 3D stuff, 3D assets. And as you may know, Justin Fredericks is big heavy in the AR VR kind of side of this, so it was really, really cool to hear his thoughts. And his attorney was in there as well, and to hear this very specialized high-tech attorney, very high, like the most elite tech attorney probably in the world, just speaking about IP with regard to the merge. And I thought that was just an really interesting part of the conversation. Like where does the IP actually live? So I just think, crowdsourcing the information is always the best. You could sit here on the space, you just have nothing to say, nothing to talk about, until somebody comes along and puts a prompt in your lap. So to answer your prompt, like I got a great one for you. And I'll just DM it to you right now. But I think that, the biggest considerations with your domain for your personal identity are really about you, right? Like they're really about you, but then to an extent they're about how friction, how much friction is there for other people to be able to get the payments, to you. So I like to have a couple of different personal identities that I can use, for different purposes that are like more or less intuitive. The digits are really good. That's the thing. The digits are so good for payments, just getting your hands on like a clean 5-digit would be a cool thing to have probably. I like my 42059, it sounds crazy to say that. Like it doesn't sound like a good investment, but it's like digits are so universal. It's so easy to just tell somebody, yo, send it to this digit. But as an identity, like if you're like entering a community as in the way that it is with B card, it started a lot with the digit holders. It started by 008, so it's a lot of digit holders. A lot of 10Ks, a lot of 999s. So we're all in there, and it's like you're exchanging B cards, and before you know it, you've got like 50 B cards, rack of B cards that are just a bunch of digits. Like some of those people, their digits really well because they're part of the community, but like generally speaking, it's kind of like that. It's like a lot of digits. So we're finding that like in that sense, digits are good, but it's nice from an identity perspective when you pair them, with a name and something else too. So in that sense, if you want to have a digit as a flex, you might have, I might just rock -1 as a flex just because that's a cool one. But then if people are like -1, who's that? Which that's why I like -1 because it's like a number in an identity because it's unique enough that it's like, oh, you're -1. Like how many -1s are there? Just one, So that's the whole point. But with the 4 digits and 5 digits, it's sort of like, you might want to have a subdomain like n0vax.42059.eth, and then it's like, oh, you're 42059, but you're also Novax, and we know you that way. So I like the thought of kind of being creative with your identity and what works for you, and making it easy for people. I just DM'd you the perfect domain for you. There's no better one for you, honestly. And so yeah, you should swoop that. And then I think also, in addition to that, you might think about, in the future, like this is something you're investing in. Kind of think of it that way. It's something you're planting into it a little bit. You're trying to give it value. You want to give it value, and not necessarily because you want to sell it. You're associating. It's like it's your IP. It's your property. You're building something that you can. It's a grail for you. It's your personal grail, and you want to build a grail on top of it that will make income. What's up, -0? Jump in.
Oh yeah, I just want to welcome -232 to the floor. Just want to see if you want to chime in something. You're more than welcome.
Hello, everyone. n0vax, -0, and MakeaNFT. Thanks for having me up here. I'm just kind of hanging out with you guys. Don't want to add value here. That's not really what I'm here to do. Just kind of, take it all away from you guys. Be as negative as possible.
Dude, you can add so much here, bro. You don't even know. If you guys, I'm gonna just introduce my friend, 12012. I know him as 12012, but we're all changing identities now that we're negatives. -232 is definitely an epic palindrome. 999, good score. My clean negative 999 is -755. I really like it. I really like it a lot. And then I've got a few others on the way too that are kind of similar. So that's cool. I'm really excited about the 3-digit negatives. The thing is about them, man, people have talked, like I've been listening. Okay. It's funny. And everyone could laugh about this part, but influencers, whatever. We got these people who are out here fudding the negatives, and they're like, oh, they're derivative. But from like a mathematical perspective, we were talking about having like a math session because we have some math homies. Like we got SSH Matrix and some other physicists and people who are damn smart. So it's like, why don't we have like a math session, where you get all those guys together and just like totally like validate the negatives as being real numbers, and like insist that they get the respect. Like the 999 club it's inclusive of us already. They forgot about us, but the reality is, yeah, we're part of the 999 club already. We're just the other end of it. We're the negative side of it, but we are a real number, so that's the thing. A dollar sign number is not a real number, and I still think it's cool. I'm not fudding those. I think those are rad, but in the sense of mathematics and numbers, it's like, yeah, we're real numbers. What up, MakeaNFT?
Hey, I just see, this is what it's all about. I mean, at some point, the way this is all going, they're going to be institutions, and the knowledge that you guys just drop in here, it's like, there goes, everybody's getting loans back, but all you're going to do is just hang out. So I got a question, little ENS.vision going into the future. there's a bulk, I see bulk reg or register in ENS. Do you just hit register in ENS? And am I missing something? How do I make it? Am I missing something? Sorry.
Yeah. It's the first. Actually, I'm putting myself in your position, and the first time you use it, it's a little challenging. Maybe since 232 has his hand up, he can grab the question and kind of, because you've probably used ENS Vision a fair amount too, haven't you?
Yeah, so I mean, the easiest thing to do is first go to bulk search, and then search everything your heart desires, and then add it to your cart, and then you'll go to your cart, and then you can bulk register from there.
Save money on gas.
Booyah.
And
Love it. Love the concept. Thank you. That's a pro tip. Can somebody? I'm gonna get better at pinning. Somebody's got to pin that. Like, that's a knowledge drop right there. Just like you're minting tokens. I know this is the right group that we're going to find the way to go from these our personal with our own smart contracts for artists, where they can mint a token space on IFC, into Filecoin, essentially. Forgive me and my exhaustion. I really think I can't wait till I explore with some of you guys some of the crazy shit that has happened this year and a half. Instead of running out to send my artwork out or do any of this, I spent the whole year testing blockchains because I want to help people make NFTs and get into the crypto space, right? That's what I'm doing as us. I love helping people and I'm passionate. Anyway, rambling, sorry. So there have been so
about ENS Vision, man.
with
let's give you more ENS Vision alpha. It'll get you tooling around ENS Vision like a wizard, man.
what we need to do is we need to help artists from the cleanest point of their ownership of the smart contract to stay decentralized. I feel like this fork at the road is the opportunity. If I, even last night, right? Like last night, me and you were having a debate and I just wanted to mint, even if it didn't work or whatever. And we talked and I chose Rail after we all had some thoughts on it, because OpenSeas, it doesn't exist. And even then they were like, oh yeah, you can mint it. So I minted the collection and I saved the block, right? And then I moved, like I said, 25 of them, but then I moved 11 of them. I put one in my partner in Making NFTs wallet. And again, shout out, if any of you are in the Bay, you will eat like a king at Sushi Bistro, because that's my boy Dave who keeps me going.
Yo, what city is that? I'm in the Bay.
Oh, the Richmond. If you hit the inner Richmond and go to Sushi Bistro, he's had a few restaurants during COVID. He had to take it down to one, but man, you just let him know you come through the Making NFT squad. You met Griff. I promise you're gonna drink some sake, eat some bomb ass fish, and have a great time. That's on me. I'll
right on, man.
Send me your address and I'll buy the first cup and I'll send you a lobster roll because the family here is sick.
Oh man, we love it, man. Thank you. Yeah. What else did you want to say?
All that I'll be DMing some. I'm actually making him the sushi club. I'll be handing out those promo sushi drops. But I anyway, just to end it, I minted the contract, so I paid for that on ETH, and then I moved 11 of those NFTs over on the block, and I paid for those. Batch mint 10. I stuck one in Sushi Dave, Mr. Bistro himself. Sometimes Hamachi Hodl, shout out, is him on Discord. Anyway, so I'm telling you that I've seen the amount of bullshit in fake smart contracts. And even though I love Cargo and the Polygon chain, to be honest, like I just love the build and how you could split your payments to people. It was amazing. But the one thing he did is he put everybody in the same smart contract. So when he sold his company, he basically locked up the visual usage of everything you did. And he tried to help me. I swear to God, a kid on Discord. Everybody's trying to scam me. And we worked for literally 40 hours because he's like, oh, yeah, I can move I could, and he, God bless him. He's like, I could change the ownership and get them all back to you and da 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 da. And I was like, well, I don't really believe you because I've been learning as much as I can right now. I'm no developer, but I've been really deep in the matrix. And so
Nice.
we spent 40 hours. We stayed awake. And this dude, I mean, he was almost in tears to the point I just had to find a way to send them to another wallet. The ownership is still murky. And truth be told, the real smart contract, everybody got stuffed in it. So when you have these centralized companies like OpenSeas who are on open, on AWS, and then they're gatewayed into these communities, when you're putting everybody in a random number and not even minting them to the blockchain till they're sold, which is a tragedy even in,
Yeah, I
this
feel
is
you.
bullshit. And
Let's talk about that for a sec, man. Because
I'm
you're
passionate.
you're getting at something that's really important about like the persistence of assets and kind of where they're stored. And so I think that I could respond to you like about that, and it might be a cool convo. Um, like so many different ways to secure an asset, right? Elsewhere, but that seems so insecure. And so, starting with the very first, let's go. Like I kind of consider myself someone who's somewhat familiar with the history of NFTs. I don't know that I'm an archaeologist. I like some people use that term. I think it's funny. We're always laughing with Adam and Leo, like, okay, we're like always like you're a real Indiana Jones. Whenever time they come up with something really cool, dig something up, we use that term in fun. But when you look at the earliest stuff, starting with Counterparty or Namecoin domains, actually before that, but when you look at that stuff, it's linking out. It's using that whatever op return field inside of the ledger to just link out to an asset. To link out to some art that's hosted somewhere. Just a link, really, is all it is. So you need a special pair of glasses to view the link, right? You just mint it to. That doesn't mean anything. There's a bunch of links on Bitcoin somewhere. It's like if you had a bunch of links in Etherscan. It's like it doesn't do anything. So the idea is that you have this counterparty and Doge party have these, tertiary nodes that just interpret those links, and associate them with the tokens that they're associated with. So that's how those assets are stored. But like, where does the link to, right? In some cases, it's a link to like a Imgur file. Some cases, it's a link to some Dropbox file or something or whatever. Who knows? It could be anything. It could be a Google Drive file. Is that an NFT? I don't know. So the idea is kind of like 100% on chain is preferable. So that's kind of one of the reasons with the Negative Club is a lot of the guys from the crypto marks community. They're all about it's 100% on chain project. That's a big movement, nowadays for people to say like, if we can construct the assets in a way that they can all be stored on chain is obviously preferable, isn't it? Because we don't have any chain rot, any dead assets pointing to nowhere. And that's horrible. We don't want that. And so, and now in other contexts, it's really nice to have fluid, dynamic ability to change the asset. So that's kind of interesting. So with that said, I wanted to respond to you by saying, security and reliability of the information super important. Having it all on chain is also super important. And then in addition to that, we now actually have the ability to have a standard for editable documents on chain, and that's what we've been doing with bcard. That's what we've been doing with bpaper. Is now you have a scalable vector graphic 1155 standard, minted on Polygon, super cheap, and easy to deal with. That you can put up to like 1,400 characters inside of that. And it's no WYSIWYG like fonts and bold and underline. I don't think it's just like plain text. But think of it; it's all on chain, and it's just and you can sell them. So you can write like a little thing, and you tokenize your 100% on chain poem or lyrics or a short story or whatever. What's up, negative 232?
Oh, I just wanted to let you finish this up. I just wanted to talk, give a spiel about the negative numbers and why I kind of got into it.
Oh, please. Let's just go full negatives. There's probably people here for that reason anyway. So yeah, if you guys are chilling, and please, if you have something that you want to hear about or talk about and we're rambling elsewhere, just jump up, let us know, or say what you want to, introduce the convo, steer it as you like. But please do, man. Let's go negative. Let's take it negative.
Yeah. So, the way I look at it, it's like they're obviously real numbers, right? But we throughout history we have driver's license, we have addresses, we have phone numbers. They're all positive numbers. So this is the first time in history where we're allowed to use a negative number as an identity. And it's deeper than that, because it's not just being that negative or opposite of the positive. It's a whole counter culture that we're doing here. We're growing. So this counterculture, I feel like I'm one of the few people that has positive 12012 and negative 12012.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, so I'm set for life as far as my hot wallet, my vault wallet go. Like, my identity is secured. And it's
Dude.
just a beautiful thing to see. And as long as we embrace it this way, and we keep moving forward, it's using this identity that's as a negative, and applying it to our everyday life. We're creating decentralized history. Like, the blockchain is letting us use negative numbers officially. It's just
I love your perspective, man. You got the best always. Like when we met with the early 10K community and crypto skulls and ether things and, collecting doogies and stuff, having such a fun time with those communities, really partnering together. And I really enjoy that you're always so upbeat and everything, and you have a really positive perspective on it. You make the best negative. Um, it's really fun to think about that, like that identity aspect of, and the fact that it's kind of a first here, with phone numbers and everything else. Like you just don't see people embracing that. But the counterculture is the most important thing I think about, to me, what you said, because if you're actually in the spaces, like in the DM, the big group chat, and everything that we're doing, the Discord with the negative numbers, it's like much less. There's no influencers, in there. It's like much. It's like a bunch of people who are like really homies. A lot of us just a bunch of friends, and we're basically all together. We're not like arguing with each other, like, oh, you're a negative emoji, you're not. It's like it's kind of inclusive. We're like, we're negative. It's so fun. That's just by default kind of inclusive and fun. And I just sense that part of that as well is that we're really willing to help each other. And we have a crazy amount of talent because of that too. Jason Klein is in there, and all these other, Dememe Tree is in there working on all this stuff. Dememe Tree made that contract. You can send 0.01 to it, and it will like mint you a negative image. I did it earlier. I'm gonna go check right now while you're talking. Make it NFT. So jump in. I'm gonna go look and see if my negative minted.
Yeah, it should come right away.
Well, please, is that just the one that just got put up in the thread? Because I'm definitely want one of those. And then I was just going to continue the noob conversation. As I am a noob, I got the bulk registration. I hit the gas button, and then it looks like advanced settings, register for account address or ENS name. So I got two. Do I put in like a personal address for the advanced settings? Anybody have thoughts? I'm home stretch, and I'm sending NFTs. Good Lord.
Nice, man. Well, I'm having a little trouble understanding exactly what you're asking. But you're on ENS Vision still? Or are you now updating your record using the app?
So I grabbed the bulk registrations, right? And I added the items, and then it has an advanced settings tab, and it says register for. So I picked two names, right? And then and then there's an advanced settings account address or ENS name. Are we supposed to put like some sort of like personal name or something?
Oh, okay. I think I understand what's going on here. You may not have, if you're this new, you may have just simply forgotten the first step is just connect your wallet. I don't know have you done
No,
that?
Yep, I'm connected, and I even got I apologize, sorry for totally being a noob, but I got contract interaction with bulk registration for like.
It's a two-part as well. So you're
Yep.
gonna hit.
So
Okay. It's
So
a
what's the
60-second delay
Okay.
between you approve the contract. It's like usually like a buck or something, and
Okay.
then you're gonna wait 60 seconds, and then you can confirm, and then that's when you're actually paying the cost of the registration and the gas. That's the first one is just kind of approved. The second one, after the 60-second wait period, that's a period that's intended, it's imposed by ENS itself to ensure that double registrations aren't happening, right? So it's just a 60-second period where it's like, okay, it's confirmed that nobody else was in the was in the 60-second period. So and then
it
go ahead.
says, so I got the check request to register, check for wait for 1 minute, and check for complete registration. And it's just at the commit tax pending. It's been spinning. I know better to button mash, but what should I maybe refresh?
Nah,
Yeah,
just
you
wait a
can.
little
There's a
bit.
little spinny wheel down there. Are you on mobile? Or are you on desktop?
No, I'm on the desktop. I'm on Brave. Oh, you know what? See, that's like, I love Brave, but those shields sometimes fuck with it. Let's try that again without.
Yeah, I'm stoked that you're getting on ENS Vision.
No, man, listen, this is like, first of all, I've wanted to do this, but after our talks and how much, I'm not kidding, I've learned more in these two Twitter spaces than I did for 5 years. I swear to you, like just in life, forget anything else. And so if this is how you roll, then I mean, you can't get aboard with people, but get aboard with people. So
you
I'm
want to hear something crazy though?
just saying.
Dude, it's like
Because
really flattering to hear that stuff, man. I don't know what to say. Thank you. I don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that here. Like, you've done more than me. You've done more than all of us out here. Applaud yourself.
See, that's being humble, man. You guys have been dropping knowledge that is so far superior than what, and I'm not like saying superior like anybody's better. I mean, again, shout out Alpha, who's in here. He was one of the gentlemen we just had an incredible spaces with and has welcomed me into some beautiful things as well. Look, our knowledge, we're all passionate and we all wear our heart on our sleeves and we're all gathering together, and it doesn't matter where you started or where you're going, as long as you're locking arms for growth, and that's what you're doing. So if that's the price of admission, well, I got NFTs I hear I could go gamble with. I just like the picture, but whatever. I'm You can't get involved unless you're getting involved. And this is my favorite part. I'm so sick of people talking about the bear market. Are you kidding me? I'm doing this right now for me like that. I bought Alfie's pieces in Decentraland. I bought DJ Trax's. I bought an NFT for the guys I just did an event with in 3 different metaverses and put them up in my space. Right now, we can actually test. Right now, the fake money that was literally $600 million that was on a triple X bet with no risk, with tons of corporate shitty money and a bunch of annoying people jumping ship to go to crypto places to grow and just be catty. No, right now we could all band together. I'm grateful. I mean, my cup isn't full. I don't drive a Bugatti or a Rari. My kids are healthy, go to great schools. Well, you know what I mean? But I don't have no
Yes, there's a
Bugatti.
chance.
I don't know that I want one either, but I'm just saying this is the real. So if this is the price of admission, consider me minting these NFTs of these names and being very, very incredibly grateful for the information you passed, no matter how you want to flip it. Thank you. And I'm going to shut my mouth.
hey, here's some more
Thank
alpha.
you for being here. Thank you for being so friendly, man.
Negative
Appreciate
one.
you.
I want to drop some alpha too after you.
Okay,
No, go
here we
for it,
go.
dude, right now.
ENS Vision, dude. A negative one, can you hear me?
Por favor,
Thank
right
you, sir.
away. Yeah, right
Thank you.
now. Don't
All right,
leave us
because
hanging. But before, I just will say one thing, which is because otherwise I'll lose track of it. I would like to exchange B cards with everybody here who is interacting with us. I would like to exchange B cards with everyone here who's interacting with. I know Batshit Ape already. We're homies. I know you, Batshit, and I hope you join the convo. MakeaNFT is a new friend. I want to send him a B card. He can't send me a B card because he hasn't minted one yet. He has to have 3 before he can do that. But 12012 is probably
get me spending a lot of money. You're gonna get me spending a lot of money tonight. We better talk to my wife at some point. Sorry.
Be careful with that bulk registration. And you know what? The best thing about the bulk registration is not just how rapidly you can register stuff, in my opinion. It's how much it enables you to cross compare between.
Oh, no, dude, it's done. I only got 2. It's all I needed because both of them are me. I got some numbers in it. I got jgriff120, who I've been on social media as long as I've had my 917 phone number.
Wait, you need one more, bro. Hang on.
And then I've
you need
got
one more.
and I got MakeaNFT.com. So I got my business and I got my personal, and I'm really grateful. Thank you guys. I'm like, really, what a fucking day today has been. Thank you so much.
Oh, you might need one more. Your name, I think, is spelled kind of like difficult spelling, so it might be available. Check your last name right now, because to have your own last name is really graily. Like, check that. Obviously, check your first name too, but I mean, I'm sure it's taken, So
you know what the thing is? It's like those personalities are such a part of me, and it's like I'm with it, and I think there's so much room for growth. And what I've been finding, like when I made MakeaNFT.com and I started this, 2 years ago, I got Make a NFT, Make Your NFT. I got Decoding the NFT. I got NFT trophies. I got crypto fantasy trophies. I just bombed.
.coms? Like .coms?
Because I didn't know shit. I was just like, I want to be about it. So I bought all of these things to decide as I went, who did I want to be, what I want to be a part of. Instead of and I've really had my mouth shut, sure. And then I make a couple Twitters and a couple this and a couple that. And all of a sudden I'm a fractured person. And it's like making NFT is still what we're about. But me as an artist, I mean, I've been doing that since I was 15 years old. And, again, I wouldn't be sitting in the basement trying to be quiet for my wife if we had Bugattis and double mansions. But, I was on TV. I was on Top Model twice. And I photographed Luda as in my early 20s. I was a production coordinator with Vogue through production companies running through New York. And I saw the game, you know what I mean? It's like, and I even had some chances. Like I've had some great moments to flex, and those moments when you come through and it all works, it's beautiful. But that's not my daily now. I'm in Boulder for my kids and for my family. And now we're speaking again in the same language. And it's even sweeter. So again, I'll send them. You send me them NFTs. Here we go. I'm calling my partner Dave. Go eat more sushi. Love you.
Dude, that's the coolest thing though about the domains, bro. You're gonna spend money on domains now. You've just acquired a very dangerous habit. Somebody with over 500 ENS domains, and literally hundreds of them are crap. In my frank opinion, hundreds of my registrations flat out suck. Okay.
Oh no, I'm with you. Can I tell you? I'm just gonna tell you to make you laugh. For 1 decade, I owned don'ttellthewife.co and do not tell the wife.com. And I never put shit on it. I just thought it was so funny to be, and then I had, photographed T.I. right when I bought them. So I was like, I wanted to get a drop from T.I. You could have whatever you like, long as you don't tell my wife.co and .com, bitches. I mean, come on. Let's go. So I love this. I just love being part of having fun with you all. I have bought so many. In fact, I traded somebody. I was surfing in San Francisco at Ocean Beach, and somebody speared me, and I was using my boy's board. So I traded him properties. I had visit SF on Instagram, Twitter, and that. So since I got the board damage, I gave him that entire property. So I'm with it. It's just I tend to come up with all these concepts and then let them drift. And I want to stay hyper focused on the growth right now with you guys and around us. And I think those two are going to really set me straight. So let's throw up where to get a B card and where to get one of those minus NFTs, because I want both. Thank you.
Nice, man. And welcome, Negative69. I love you, Make a NFT, man. You're just such a welcome part of the community. It's so nice getting to know you. I used to live in the Bay Area for a while, in Walnut Creek area. I lived on Alameda Island for a little while. My first son is born at Alta Bates Hospital at Berkeley. My wife was a admissions counselor at Haas School of Business. So I've been around that area quite a bit myself, really. And so it's just cool to, you know, just I'm now in Central Coast, but not too far from you. Got family up there still working in Google too. Both my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are Googlers, big up Googlers now. It's been for a decade or more. Obviously we don't see eye to eye on every single thing, but that's cool. Negative 69 and Digivatar have entered the building, and they're just both two really great and beloved friends who are hanging with us in the negatives. Digi's rocking some new pixel art, looks pretty epic, man. I'd love to hear about that. But I also want to say that the negative numbers, the domains, the domainers, the old school domainers, okay? You touched on some things. You touched on some domains that you sat. I sat on dogwater or something.com for a couple of years. I built this little contraption that like auto feeds water. Like it's just you take like a 5-gallon jug, turn it upside down. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a fortune on these. You know, we've all probably, it was like my early 20s. We've all just like had some of that, like just like stuff that didn't come to fruition or whatever. And something about domaining, it kind of encapsulates that, like the dreamer, you know. So there's kind of a selection bias for a lot of people here are visionaries and not necessarily like doinaries. Like we need help focusing ourselves and everything too. So that's a great thing. We can crowdsource that together and keep each other on you know, on track, building things that are actually, you know, useful and cool, and doing that in a hopefully in a pleasant and efficient way, and just getting to know each other better along the way. So with that said, on two things I'll tell you about B Card. But first, I just want to say that one of our greatest friends who hangs, and everyone here is invited. Everybody here is invited every single morning, Monday through Friday. This is why we're such a strong community, probably. We have the Friday, you know, the ENS updates show with Kev Forking. His handle is KEVFORKING. Kev, like Kevin Forking. He's a great guy. Kev Forking is his friend. And he hosts the ENS updates show Monday through Friday. It's like 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Pacific. So I don't know what that is your time. Maybe if you're Eastern, that's like 11 to 12:30 or something like that. I think, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11. I count my fingers. So, you know, that's what it is. But try and be there. It's a great show. It's very informative. So that's number one. We have somebody from that community, Ron, RN1, Ron, who's a venture capitalist. He's bought up like about 1,000 of the, almost, he was trying to get to 1,000 of the 5-digit, you know, the 100K club. And Ron is a very successful web one domainer. He was like the original .com domainer. Guy's a boomer. He's obviously, you know, seen some epic sales in his life, and so he has a really good understanding of kind of like who the, you know, how to market the domains, which ones have value in that context, and then as compared to, you know, this, because there's some nuanced differences obviously with the utility, you know, for sending and receiving payments and hosting sites and all the Swiss Army knife that we say, you know, the Swiss Army knife of functions that ENS brings to you. So Ron is saying, sit back, like just you guys were. It's a special time, you know. He's saying like it's the .com. It's a .com again, you know, and that's the vibe. So hearing that from Ron is it's just very, very encouraging. Gives us that sense of like, wow, like it's real, you know. It's like what we're doing here. We're not just like, you know, we're not just deluding ourselves, you know. It's like it's actually a huge market cap around this stuff and huge utility, and everyone will need, all these smart contracts will need an ENS domain, all of the NFT projects will need an ENS domain, you know, and they'll need subdomains off of those, and the D-Web will be built around it, you know, that way. So it's just great, you know. And thanks. I don't know, you know, Digi, if you want to pop up and chat. As you can see, Coldie is in the room with us, and Coldie and I were talking about ETH emoji domains and stuff. We've been talking about negatives a lot. I know Digi's hanging with the negatives. I minted the Dememe Trees project. I want you guys all to mint the Dememe Trees project. You know, that's what, for if you're a negative holder, you got to get that. If you're waving goodbye, Coldie, you know, then it's great to have you. If not, then if you're just waving hey, then hey. But yeah, no, we were talking about on cyberspaces and stuff too, and kind of the way these numbers look in there, and hoping that we can really build some great stuff for our community, for our negative community, you know, on cyberspace that's specific to the negatives, where we can go, and it's like super easy to go ahead and, token gate based on assets. So that's the best part, is that you literally put a link in from the OpenSea page. It's like that easy on OnCyber. You're just like, okay, I want only crypto skulls in here. Boom. Like, it's that easy. And you can just compound them and add a bunch of different ones. It's quite nice. Really, it is. So I'm excited about doing that kind of thing. Yeah.
The Moonbats actually have an on cyber scavenger hunt this weekend. If everyone's available to come get the Life's a Joke or Fat Rat Mafia, but if you're holding one of all three collections, you can get a Real Goblins NFT. That's at 0.1 floor right now. So
Dude, what did you? Excuse me. That is the coolest thing I've ever heard, man.
yeah, we did one last week. We actually started trending on cyber because we had so many people show up, and so we're actually making noise in the metaverse already.
Dude, how many people showed up? That's sick.
I don't know. I think it was like 84 or something.
Did the space chug? How did it go?
No, it was fine. We were doing scavenger hunts, so it worked out perfectly cool.
Were you just watching people just like everywhere? Was it like people just flooding everywhere, bumping into each other? Like, what was that part
No,
like?
I think everyone was in their own world, but it was 84 people doing it at the same time.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like MMO. You weren't bumping into people. Everyone had their own instance.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's what I'm curious about on cyber, how many people start piling in, because I haven't been to a big on cyber room, but I have some big on cyber spaces, and I do have intentions to fill them. And so starting with the Friday night ENS happy hour, we're gonna this week we'll probably have our first test with like a few dozen people in there. But the B card community, maybe it's time to just tell everyone about B card. We lost negative 69. I always love seeing him in here. You guys working so hard on the Negatives Club. It's pretty cool. B card. Let's talk about B card. Totally free. Totally social layer. And it's all Polygon, so it's very affordable to do it. All the stuff there. And so, what I would encourage you guys is, I want to give you a B card. If you don't, so MakeaNFT now has an ENS, MakeaNFT.eth. So I'll send you a B card. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that right now. It'll take 2 seconds. And you guys should really be aware that it's that easy, like you can really scale this. So from my perspective, B card represents the social layer, the
n0vax, I think you just got rugged a little bit. Or did I get rugged?
No, I think you're right. Just to let you know.
Okay.
232. I can't hear him for a sec, but
okay.
Swear to God, I'm like literally. You guys are like, I'm going to the bank. I'm going shopping. You are. I went. I bought my 2, and then I'm like, fuck. Now I gotta go get another one. And then, and then, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, now that MetaVask is empty. Oh, gotta go to the bank. Put all my money in my hardware wallet in case the whole world came to the end, like Y2K life, So you guys,
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I mean, what I thought, like I was going into the future and not QVC. Look at what is going on, family. I love y'all. Thank you. Much dap.
n0vax. I did want to also tell you, I got the last hooded crypto skull.
Oh,
the last one of the collection.
I got the first one. You got the last one, dude. We got the book.
That's epic.
I don't know if mine is the technical first one, because I think Max minted his first, I think. But I'm pretty sure mine's like up there. He might have minted another one for 2 of his, but I'm like the first non-Max one, I know for sure. So, dude, congratulations. And it's a very special club. It's actually one of the clubs that I gated the bat cave, like the cave space by, because there's only like the 50 of us, I believe. And dude, and it's less than that because a few people got multiple skulls. And that is like the first Crypto Skulls derivative project. I actually begged him. He had been minting like about 10 or more, 30 of them. He'd been minting, not minting them. He'd been making them. He'd been creating them off chain like Digi does, just like Digivitar does with all of his like art, derivative art, fan art, stuff like that, and his own projects. His like for the love of making bespoke stuff just to exercise his craft and show his appreciation for his friends and not make everything about, making money and tokenizing it, that sort of spirit was the way that a lot of successful things actually began. And that was the case with those, with the hooded crypto skulls. It was like Emax was like, let me put a hood on your skull because that's fun. And they look sick, they look super sick, right? And especially like, you got clean skull, you got some, some bearded skull. It doesn't matter. They all look sick. And you get to choose like what color hood you want as well, and some of the features. So that part is fun. And you can only mint one if you have a Genesis crypto skull. So that's the best part about a derivative. I love a derivative project that's like a derivative that's community or based derivative that requires you to have the original asset. It's a very friendly way to do a derivative. But yeah, I'm really glad that you got the last one. Do you do you have like you want to pin it, or I want to see it?
Oh, it's yeah, let me go find his page. He tweeted about it earlier.
Congratulations. The assets like these are an interesting class, because they're very small collection. Like there can only be so much, support for it. The perfect example of this would be the 300 Club, the Nakamoto card, the rare Pepe, the original, Pep. I think that
Whoops, that wasn't it.
Oh, you pinned something else? I'm leave that. I'm stoked on that. That scavenger hunt idea. Leonidas told me there's a hidden space within my it's called Meta Caves, by the way. The big space that I have, it's a cave.
Oh yeah, we have the Meta Cave too. That's exactly it's a bat cave.
Yep.
It says crypto bats on it, so it makes total sense for the moon bats to have one of those.
Dude, I have that space. Like so tell me, where is there a hidden? So Leo said there's a hidden space. Do you know where
there's
it is?
multiple hidden spaces. We already found them in our last scavenger hunt.
Will you enter? If I send you the link later, will you come in my metaverse space with me and show them to me?
Yeah, I mean, I can guide you through it if we both just get on voice chat and like the Discord, and we're exploring together. I can tell you exactly where they're at.
Dude, it feels so crazy to like have a desire to know where something is inside of metaverse space and to ask somebody for directions there for the first time. It feels so weird.
I mean, honestly, it's like it will take you probably like 30 minutes for you to run around the whole place and check everywhere before you find everything.
I'm
It's
gonna
like that
do it. I'm
place is
gonna do it.
cool.
I sound like the bar alone, just finding the bar and stuff, which is not hidden at all. I was just like, oh, this is cool. This like, there's like candles everywhere. I mean, it's a well done space. Really, it is.
Yeah, I love it. There's even some trap doors.
Dude, is there a way to like operate, in video games a lot of time you'll have like, with E, for example, you can open portals and stuff. That space doesn't have portals really.
Not yet.
I hope they're added because
they're gonna add to be able to move from on cyber to on cyber. You can portal through them if they're attached to each other, stuff like that. It's gonna be all available.
Well, I have that functionality already with my other ones. I guess what I meant was that the meta cave space does not have any like doors that are equipped with that clickable, at least that I'm aware of, connect to other space functionality. But you know what I was able to do, which is very fun, dude. You will appreciate this more than probably anyone here who hasn't seen these spaces. But what I did was I got the guy, you to laugh. I got the ENS bar, right? I got the bar, the meta bar on cyber.io/meta bar, right? I got that. And I was like, this is cool. This is cool. And then I was like, it's kind of small though. And so I was like, I'll get the Atari game room, which is like the same exact style, and I'll link it. So I linked those together, and I was like, that's cool. And then I was like, well, I got some free like vaults. I put some of my most valuable ENS, and so I like, hung them up on the vaults and put them up there. And I was like, that's cool. It links into the doors from there. So now it's like this networked space where then from there you can go around the corner and go down into the bunker. into this like that Dead Fellas space, the Dead Zone 13. And then from there, you can go out the very bottom bunker door, and I have that drop you right into the top of the meta caves. So that was the sickest part. Was like you go down through like you start up at the bar, then you're in the game room, and then you're in some vaults, and you come out of the vaults. So you're like, that was crazy. Then you go down into the bunker, and then you go down into the caves. It's like a freaking labyrinth, dude. It's massive.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's if you haven't experienced it yet, it sounds like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo, but it's the coolest experience I think so far that I've had in the NFT space, and like having these scavenger hunts is insane. So much fun.
So just so you know, I'm literally out here taking ETH out of my hardware wallet, and I've got my third one. Now I did 3. You guys stop, because all I want to do is go shopping for NFTs and stuff. But it's true. It's going through, and it looks like I copped 3, and I'm excited to tell you. So I got JGriff 120, which is me online everywhere else, making NFT. But then I also got my Rinkeby Rich. So I made a test smart contract. I copied basically off YouTube, Determine, and I went in the ETH Foundation and tried to get test ETH because nobody could find an open faucet. And then I put my comment in the wrong channel, and I got my hand slapped, and I apologized and went to another channel he told me to go to, and he gave me 2 test ETH. And then I got my test smart contract deployed, and I moved some test NFTs. And so I came up with the Rinkeby Rich, because when I found the test net, I was free, So I have my Rinkeby Rich NFTs that I give to collaborators that come to our space, or we do events, and they can't be sold. They're just given out and earned. So I just added that to the mix. So there you go. I got 3. I'm in. You're going to have to teach me how to use them. Can't wait. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing, man. So Coldie, I just sent you to Coldie3D.eth. I just sent you 2 B cards. I'm not sure if you have to have 3 from 3 separate people, if it validates for that, if you just have to have 3, total count of 3. But we want to get you on B card ASAP, but I didn't want to cheat and just give you 3. It's kind of keep it to the spirit of things. To try and get someone else will give you one here who has one. If not, we'll just hang with us, man. We'll get you on B card immediately. There's only about 350 of us. My B card number is 272. I'm pretty newer. So it's fun, and we have this station where all of our on-cybers are linked up. It's like a metaverse station. We're like the first that I know of, people doing this on cyber. And so like my Infinite Museum space, I haven't mentioned there, 12/12. I got that going as well. Negative 232, my bad. I got the Infinite Museum space, which is where I have my Coldie piece hung, and it's where I have my historicals and fun things.
I'm negative 12/12 as well, so it's technically not wrong.
Digi, man. Oh, I just really appreciate that Digi's getting to experience this with us too. He's probably it's sitting in bed ready to fall asleep.
That's actually me right now. I actually picked up some good ENSs. I've been looking at people's all their grails that they hold, and I've just been looking at for the negatives. Like I got negative Tokyo the other day. I got negative ENS God. Like there's some good ones out here still. Just got to go find other people's grails and go take their negatives.
That's how it is.
Can you leave negative make an NFT alone until my wife will let me go to the bank again?
Yeah, I'm not looking.
I'm totally kidding. No worries. I just wanted to smile with you. I appreciate you.
I took negative Lamborghinis.
Yo, I actually was trying to send you a B card right now, make an NFT, and I don't know if you haven't updated the ENS record properly yet, and then maybe that needs to happen, or if maybe you accidentally didn't register exactly what you were trying to, but I'm going to check for you.
I can take a screenshot real fast, but I think it's because I added another one. So I have MakeaNFT.eth, JGriff120.eth, Rinkeby, RINKEBY, BY, Rich, RICH.eth. But I think this is probably the set now. Primary ENS, reverse record not set. Select one of your ENS names.
Bingo. As soon as you do that, I'll be able to send to you based on. So you're probably gonna go with MakeaNFT for that, I assume. Yes.
Yep. I would as yes, and you just copy that in there. It gives me, so right now it says the destination of one of your ENS names. Sorry, it just pulls up Rinkeby Rich, and I don't know why, but I know they're all connected. I will. I'll sit down and be quiet. I'm sorry for rambling, but I'm on it.
Yeah, and don't worry, because I can see your address. Now, see, I can go to ENS Vision. Now I have a handle. Do you see? I just pulled you up. I searched in MakeaNFT. I pulled you up. I can grab your wallet address, and I can send to you there. So ENS is useful for that, just for discoverability. So no problem. Let me know when you get the reverse record set up too, so we can send you more stuff and communicate, with B card and B paper that way as well. Coldie, thanks for jumping up, man. Appreciate it. What's up?
Yeah, the B card and all that stuff. So maybe we'll do a little side chat or something to figure out what exactly that is and how I can use that in my own and share with other artists and kind of get the word out there.
Oh man, that would be really, really incredible. Actually, so I'll definitely be in the DMs about that. It would be so great, really to see, because you have probably a great network of artists who really, I think, are ready, right, to have an audience appreciating their work in a metaverse gallery. Like that's us. We're that audience, and we're that
awesome.
Marketplace as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've messed around a little bit with OnCyber, did some kind of test galleries, and it's sick. And I make 3D like GLB assets, and putting those in there. It's so easy to import those and then scale them. I'm a big OnCyber fan.
Oh man, you're great. Okay, this is. I mean, I would love to see that. Can you link me? Do you have?
Yeah. Here, give me a sec. I'll find them right now.
Well, that's pretty exciting.
This first one's really fun. So one of my degen loves is music, like rock and roll, NFTs, photography. So let me drop this. How do I drop it in here?
Well, you could tweet it out. The only way to drop. Oh, actually, see in the lower right hand side, there's a little chat.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
We don't use that enough. We're always telling people to tweet it and then pin it. It's like, why? There's a chat now. I always forget about that. What? Negative69 is back in the house. What up, Negative? I thought the Meme Trees project would just invert my PFP. I thought it would sniff the ENS record for the avatar update and then invert that and mint it to me. But instead, I got these two MF and I'm like pretty interested in this collection now. I can't wait to have inverted now Negative69 as well. It's looking sharp, man. But yeah, so Coldie, if you just put it down there in the chat, man, I will.
Yeah.
There.
I just dropped both of the test ones I did. The one that's kind of fun because it has one of my 3D GLBs is the Coldie collection link. And that one, I was literally just like testing, like what did video NFTs with audio look like? What did, GLBs look like? What did GIFs look like? Just kind of to test my own stuff and the stuff that I've collected. And part of that was also because my big kind of like, if we're looking ahead for what I want to do and where I see, art NFTs going, it's with 3D assets, the actual GLBs you can walk around. And, it's kind of seeing which gallery systems, which metaverses you can import into, how they look. And I believe I put my latest Ascended decentralized portrait in there. Let's see.
You are a literal. I'm in here right now. You are a literal genius. Like, this is so incredible, man. You guys get in here. Is anyone else in here? This stuff is so nuts. Oh,
Okay.
This is some
How
of
do
my.
we
These
get
are
in
some of my
there?
grails.
Let us in.
let us in the lower right hand corner, guys. There's the little chat for the space, and Coldie posted a few links. This one, it's probably if you just go to oncyber.io / what was it, Coldie Gallery,
Coldie Collection.
Coldie Collection. Oh my gosh, the Bitcoin gas mask filter number 3.
Yeah, that's an OG. That's a Josie.
So the
So
people
these
who
are just
think our OGs are interesting to me, because I think of you as the OG. So whoever you think is the OG, I'm like, well,
OG. Josie out OGs me. I will give her that.
Oh, this is beautiful. Oh man, this dripping eyes. I wish I was understood. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm on Cyber. Huh. I can't wait to see this.
Oh, I don't know if I'm glitching out. I might be trying to do too much. Am I back? Coldie might have rugged. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear me?
You're back. I can hear you.
Yeah, you're back, n0vax. Hey, n0vax, I got a message from Liquid Death, the company. I just pinned it to the top. I think everyone should take a look at that. I think it's pretty funny.
It's not showing up for me yet. I'm sure it will in a second. It lags sometimes.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, I glitched out.
I can't wait till you guys get onboarded and come see what we have going on. Our environment is literally, we threw a cracking party. 100 people through the doors. We streamed back to Decentraland, but people are sitting there playing with sparklers and doing graffiti, and it's so fun. I mean, it's super good in VR, but the experience is very, very good also on the computer and has applications. I can't wait to get you in there. We'll have a Twitter space on like 3 different platforms. Also, I was just gonna let you know I'm gonna reply to you with the NFTs I made last night while we were politicking. I might have at some point a check review to see that, but I'm pretty sure we got on the block. So, there are ways, and we're gonna do it. Thanks, my guy. I really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna get into this other space. I'm so desperate to see these that I don't care if I rug again, and I hope you guys can understand that desperation. But I've just been in this on cyber, and I'm literally having my mind blown right now. So join me over here, guys, if you're able to get in the links. The one I'm looking at now is the music photography collection. Just kinetic art is just perfect for the metaverse, but like the static stuff really does well as also. But it's just interesting to see like what static stuff actually does. Like these are, dude, are these photographs stereo?
What do you mean?
They feel like stereoscopic.
No, I do shoot stereo photos, but I don't think none of those like black and white classic are stereo.
They feel, as you move around the space, they take on a new sort of feel of 3-dimensionality. It's quite nice.
Yeah, so those it's actually mostly 2 photographers. One of them, they both basically covered the Seattle grunge scene in the 90s, and that's like my jam. So Charles Peterson and Karen Mason Blair, and I just eat all that shit up. So I went kind of heavy, and I just needed to own them all.
What's the one on the roof?
Yeah, it's a stage diver.
He's jumping in on the whole gallery.
Yeah.
Man, this is awesome. Oh, what? Pearl Jam? Way early Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder looking like 12.
So Karen was the only photographer at their very first show, and that was Pearl Jam's first show that I got.
Is this stuff tokenized or was it like?
Yeah, these are all NFTs.
I'm in. Sick.
Who is that? I got to come back. I got to leave to come back and see who's talking. Who is that? Who's in?
That's me, Jay Griff. Griff.
Griff, dog. What's up, Jay Griff?
I'm in.
Which one are you in?
I see. I'm looking at. I mean, there are great pieces in here. I think I'm looking at the pink neon cat getting flashed right now. Created by Toxic Beast is super sick. Is this the right gallery?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, that's. Yeah,
Fucking great.
Yeah,
the one.
that's just so that was like a test gallery, but those are some of my favorite grails. I kind of and my friends. So this is like a friend grail kind of shop.
Really
Thank
good.
you. Yes.
Really well curated. I mean, your vibes are so strong and really come together with the different assets that, you know, blend scope and movement, but they really sit nicely together. Very, very, very well articulated.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The other one that's like a lot of Coldie's work apparently and work of friends, you know, of his. But like the other gallery is the stuff that we were talking about with the Seattle grunge stuff. That's a lot of black and white photos and stuff. I love hearing that about you, man. That's your jam. Are you a Pacific Northwest, you know, dude?
No. I was I live in NorCal, and you know, I just grew up on it. You know, like a grunge baby, and just you know, from a collector standpoint, it fits two needs. Like I mean, that's a time and a place, so you can't take those pictures anymore. So those historically, you know, mean a lot to me. And it's also like, you know, when I was, you know, getting my creativity and my art style going, I was listening to all those bands, and I still do. So it's kind of like those are the people that grew me as a creative person.
That's like an incredible shrine to the source of, and I love hearing that's the source of your creative person, you know, energy, like, because that's the right source, man. That's the right energy. There's just such a rebellious freedom and the original as a musician, like I always strive to write in a way that was like diverged from the four chord, you know, monotony or the bridge, chorus, verse, chorus. Man, I can't wait I'm gonna share with you some of my music, my old music, Coldie, that I minted on Doge Party, man.
Hell yeah.
I found my old tracks from 2009. I got all kinds of, like, I used to shred the guitar a bit, but I couldn't unfortunately perform it very correctly or in a decently recorded way. But at least the recordings are fun, and it's good to hear that, hear it back, you know, all these years later, and realize, like, you know, so what if I didn't get what I want? That's what this is all about. We're grasping, you know, as artists. You're never satisfied with your art. You know, that's the whole point, I guess, in a way. Maybe some people are. Have you ever? That's a good question for you, man. Have you ever felt satisfied with your art? I mean, you must, as a visual artist, you must have more of a clear feedback about, like, that's done. That feels good. Whereas as a musician, it's sometimes you're just like, you know, you got to experience the whole 3 minutes, and it's harder to say, is that done? Is that good? Are you pleased? Are you always pleased with your work?
I mean, I'm always pleased enough, like you're saying, that I can call it done. I think that's kind of like the, you know, after, you know, anybody, like at a certain point, you have to also know when to stop. And I think that's a skill that takes a lot of time when you're making stuff, to be like, you have to kind of critique yourself as you go. And sometimes, you know, you think you need to go a certain direction, but then, you know, you might get 70% of the way and you realize, actually, this is done. You know, and I think, you know, with me, like I just, you know, so I just dropped a piece this morning, and I was like mentally designing it for over a year. I knew I wanted to make this piece for the proof of stake switchover, but I had to figure it out in my head. So there's like a year of thinking and just kind of scaling things in my brain, like, how am I going to present all this? And then when I made it, I did feel pleased because I had thought enough about it that when I executed it, it was like, you know, it's all kind of foggy inside your brain. But when it was on the screen, I was like, yeah, that does feel good. Nothing's ever perfect, but it felt good to like put a stamp on it and then make something new. That's my big thing is like nothing's perfect, but have it be something you're proud of and then go make something new.
Right on, right on. I'm a NorCal guy myself, and so when you mentioned that you're from NorCal, I can't help but think of my particular part of NorCal is Mendocino County.
Oh, sure.
So stomping around like
The perps.
just yeah, you know how it is, my guy. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story. My best man at my wedding and best friend in high school and everything was a really just prolific cannabis grower. His family had some land with riparian water rights for their agricultural stuff, and so he just kind of converted that over and had some old barns and things, and had some lights and workshops going there, all legally, naturally, of course, but just to my knowledge. And so in that real bull run of like 2017 2018 or whatever, 2017 really, like as it was up to December, I was building all these rigs and stuff for friends like him who had like some indoor space that was really well insulated, had high voltage power run to it, and had like dehumidifiers and air conditioning units in it. It was like the perfect mining farm space. I'm like, well, let's go. So we started, building these mining rigs, like, a lot of them large scale, because people like that have some liquidity. So it was a fun experience doing that for him. And then, a few of his homies, and getting those guys a little taste of kind of what that like crypto world is all about. Of course, then they all hated me months later when the whole shit dropped out. Like, what the hell did you do? And I had to liquidate some, a big part of my collection. But like those videos that I have, like a lot of them are in my link tree and just posted occasionally. I post them on Twitter and stuff just to kind of like remember, reminisce like the days back in the days. But yeah, NorCal is a beautiful spot, and it's this place where a lot of people came like back to the land and everything. What up, 232? I see you got the hand.
Yeah, n0vax. It's getting late for me. I just wanted to say thank you for the space, having me here, and connecting again is always a good time. So I'm glad you sound like you're doing a lot better. How's that injury doing?
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's great to see you and connect with you always too. I gotta say it's just a pain. Like I got this autoimmune disease. It's like basically kind of wrecking my back. I'm disabled from it. I can't like walk around like I would like to as much. I have to be kind of flat on my belly a lot. And it's just like one of the reasons why I like this metaverse, to be real honest with you guys. Like it's one of the reasons why I'm really blessed to have you as my friends, and to have some value to be able to share with you about some degen shit. It's like, I have a whole community of people who I really love and respect, and I feel part of a group of friends that I would be devastated to lose. So I just want you guys to know that from my perspective, like this is a lot about getting me through my struggle with my back and with my autoimmune disease. This is a place for me where I can focus my attention really hard on something other than the discomfort of my life. It's tough being me right now because I don't want to take any pain pills ever. I just don't want to go down that road. So for me, my attention and my nurture to an idea is a thing that transports me. So I just want to thank you, for thanks for asking and checking on me. And the answer really is that it sucks, and it always sucks, and it's never good. But it was really bad the other week, and I just couldn't do it. But I'm back now, and I'm grateful to be back. So thanks, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, n0vax. So I'll keep you in my thoughts, and if you ever need some THC cream, man, let me know. I know that stuff can do some magical stuff.
Well, it's been awesome. Like we had like a little crash course getting to know each other today. So this was great, and I consider you a metaverse buddy. So let's keep it going. And everybody else in here, this is good vibes. I just love talking to good people, and it's actually fun to talk to people not about art all the time. So it's good to just talk about stuff. So this is awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bounce out of here. I got up at 4 this morning and I'm kind of fucking zombie mode, so I need to go to bed.
Right on, man. Again, you are a legend. I'm so honored that you were able to come and hang out with us tonight. Really appreciate you. And I don't know if I told you, I bought EthereumMerge.eth. I never sold a domain before today. I accepted some offers just so I could get Ethereum Merge for $150. I was shocked at that.
But I wanted to propose to you that, if Ethereum merge.eth could be a great rare ENS domain, and your piece that you did on the day of the merge could be a great and rare, maybe we could do an exchange of value on that or so. I don't know. Just proposing that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to hear how this stuff works together. Like let's just give me some more crash courses and teach me how what this shit's all about, because I'm always trying to connect things together, right? So I think, this is literally like day one, and I bought so many fucking two emoji fucking ENSs today that I better figure out what I'm doing with them.
Yeah, now you know how I feel. I got a lot of them that are in the grace period. So after the 1 month registration, they go into like a 3-month grace period, and so you don't lose them immediately. So I have some time. So I'm allowing the market to mature before I invest too heavily, and it allows me to distribute so I can get more stuff and feel less secure about my position. But anyway, thank you for being here, man. Really a lot of love and respect to you. Like, looking forward to catching up with you, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And everybody else, great chatting. Hit me up, friend me, DM me, because you guys are all like interesting degenerates that have a lot of like cool shit going on. So, yeah, we'll chat again. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, have a good night, Coldie. Make an NFT. It was awesome meeting you guys. Until next time.
Shout out. I might come back to you because it's only saying that I could use the Rank Be Rich to make the main one, but we'll figure that out on another. We've all been up for days. I got the 3 names it says I do. And I look forward to continuing the adventure of my closest friend I lost to an autoimmune disease. And so I can only say, if I can be of any help or you need some shit, we're here for you. Real talk. Thank you so much for all the knowledge that you've bestowed on us and keeping it fucking real. Appreciate it. We're definitely going to get into some passive mining, holistic green conversations. That's going to happen, my guy. So all blessings, family. Be well, and thank you so much for the space.
Right on, guys. Well, you know what we got to do, if it's okay with you, if it's not regarded as total self-promotion, shameless self-promotion, I would like to try and dig up. And this is the cool thing about minting your old junk as assets. It's like easier to find it, actually, because like you went through the process of uploading it and all that, so you're not going to forget it. Well, I put these on Doge Party. And I would love to onboard everyone here to B Card and everyone here to Doge Party. I believe in these communities and in these assets and Counterparty, and they're a little unconventional, but you just take a little time, have somebody show you around, and all of a sudden there's a whole new world of historical stuff available to you from 2012, 13 or 2014. Really, the first assets are 2014 on Doge Party anyway. But anyway, so if you go on there, I'm n0vax, n0vax, no zero, because you can't have numbers in your primary name. In the primary asset names. But here's some music. This is a song about a friend of mine. It's a crazy song. It's like 7 minutes long. So, I mean, it's late. So, just here you go. But, you can read the track. I'll pin it, actually. Or, you know what I'll do? Shoot. It's got a name. That was the weirdest thing. I just accidentally the iPad has this functionality where you can tap the 3 buttons at the top of the browser and you can make the browser go like super narrow, and I just accidentally did this like crazy setting on here. Whatever. That's interesting and new. So this one is called n0vax.eth. So I just let you know, if you guys wanted to read about the asset, like I put a description about it and everything in here. And I did that with I put the lyrics in here as well. And so I'm just like trying to be more thoughtful. It took me some time, when you look at it, it doesn't look like much. It's just like a GIF and a song, but like it actually took me some time thinking about like, okay, I'm gonna put a reflect on it. I was in Santa Barbara in 2009. I made friends with a guy who played the fretless electric bass guitar better than any man alive or dead. I got a little dramatic here. He was a truly kind and thoughtful person as well. Sadly, the entire time I knew him, I was totally unaware that he was falling deeply into heroin addiction. And we had some epic jams, really just a few though. He was always a bit unreliable, which made more sense to me when I learned that he had been checked into a drug rehabilitation center.
I wrote this song while thinking of the experience he must be having, trying to kick this addiction, which he had concealed from me and all of his friends, or which he had concealed from all of his friends, myself included. And then all the lyrics are here too. So anyway, terribly performed song, beautiful lyrics, and and pretty horribly recording quality as well. But I'm glad it's here, So I think like blockchain, hopefully maybe there's a purpose for some of this kind of stuff too. But yeah, here you go. Cole from 2009. You must really go and do it now. The hardest time of your life, longest child for your soul. Whoa. As you're feeling something seeping into your bones, only lost the illusion. Oh, got your mind in it now. Going back, no. You make your choice, you're not proud. What become of you now? There's no end in sight, only the dimming light. Burning more. Shadow of the needle in the cool breeze of the empty air. I cannot free you from this rusty cage, hypodermic barricade. A masquerade that started as a ball. My words fall on the floor.